Welcome to another episode of Damon is Hungry,
Yeah, that's right.
where I basically feed this person every 2 weeks. So this is a show about teaching Damon how to do Western style cooking.
Yeah.
And today we've got a special surprise because you're going to teach me how to do a quick special salad.
Yeah, a quick special salad.
And I'm going to teach you how to do shrimp in honey and garlic with some asparagus and red pepper.
That's a long
And
name.
it's a long name, but that's all the ingredients we're going to put in. And then it's very quick to make. And it's low calorie.
Cool.
Yeah, so 365 calories per serving.
I
So
heard there's only 6 steps to make it.
6 steps. There's only 6 steps to
Wow.
do. So it's going to be
Sounds
quick
good.
and easy and
Yeah.
tasty and low calorie.
So we're basically gonna have a competition between my dish and his dish, and the cameraman is the only judge. Well, I've already bribed the judge basically. So let's see. Do you want to start?
Okay, so you want to,
Yeah,
since your
I'll
dish is
start.
quicker, why don't you
Yeah.
go first?
I also.
And so what kind of salad are you making?
So basically, I'm gonna use the ingredients in the bag and the sugar. That's all I'm gonna use. And here it is, tomato, surprise! So I'm gonna make a very popular and common salad among Chinese households.
Okay.
So the first step is wash the tomatoes.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did you wash your hands?
Okay.
Yes, there we go. Always the first step, wash your hands.
Okay. I recommend the bigger one, the round one, not the Roman one.
Okay,
Yeah, the Roman
the Italian one.
yeah
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
it's just bigger.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use the knife. Yeah, I any kind of knife. So take the top part. Okay.
So just in case, folks, we're keeping a first aid kit, just in case Damon cuts himself. Oh,
See? I still have 5 fingers. Okay, and then it's to cutting basically. I just put 1 finger in front, and you can, first you can cut it in half. So after you cut it in half, you basically cut it in smaller pieces.
do you need a plate?
Yeah, that would be nice. So I haven't done this dish before. Here. And I'll do the same thing to the second
So
one.
you artistically you just clump the
Yeah.
tomatoes.
It's more natural.
Natural. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I go for natural style. Sugar in it.
Holy cow!
And which makes the sugary tomato salad presented by Damon. Okay, we'll taste it later, and you can see what Mark brings.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay, so we've got our side salad. So now we're going to go ahead and make the shrimp with honey and garlic,
Yeah.
with a little bit of asparagus and red pepper. So shrimp, and what we're going to do is take the shell and the tail off the shrimp. We're going to need a 1/4 cup of honey. This is Billy Bee honey. No advertising, but this is what it is. The honey, 1/4 cup of honey. We're going to need some oil, cooking oil. I have olive oil here. We're going to need the juice of 1 lime. We're going to need about 2 teaspoons of garlic, a pound of asparagus, and 1 red bell pepper. And that's it. That's the whole thing for the recipe. If you want to, once we make the shrimp with the asparagus and red bell pepper, you can put it over a bed of rice or a bed of noodles, if you'd like, as a side accompaniment. Okay, are we all set?
Yeah.
So the first thing what we're going to do is we're going to take the shells off of the shrimp and the tail, because we don't want anybody to eat the shell, and the shrimp is going to get all sticky in the honey, and then people's fingers will get all sticky. So we just want to
So take off.
de-shell. Shrimps have already been deveined. If you get shrimps that haven't been deveined, you can tell because the shell has been broken away. If they haven't, you're going to have to pull the vein off the back. But these ones have been deveined. Okay, so essentially what we're going to do now is peel. Okay, so we're just going to take the shell off the shrimp. There's no particular technique about it. Oops. Try not to throw the shell back where you're going to keep the shrimp. And you just pull the shell off the tail until you get a whole shrimp. All right. Oops.
The
The asparagus. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to rinse the asparagus first, and then what we want is the bottom part of the asparagus actually is very tough and not very good to eat. So it's going to take us forever, but usually if you have thick asparagus, what you would do is you would flex it a little bit, and then where it breaks naturally, that's the tough part, and this is the part you can eat.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
That's pretty easy.
It's pretty easy, but because of speed, what we're going to do is we're going to quickly just chop these things up. Yeah. But first, let's give this a good rinse. If you want to get the paper towel, is we're going to just dry them a bit as well, and that's because when we're cooking with oil, if we put water into hot oil, it's going to spatter all around. And the last thing that you want is oil all over you, and it's going to burn you and stuff like that.
Okay.
So
To dry it.
you just need to, and we don't have to get too sophisticated about this. We just need to dry the asparagus. Whoops. Different kind of lengths and size. It all depends on where they're going to give away naturally. Just going to slice the asparagus. So that's not a bad size, but what we're going to do in slices, we're just going to quickly just kind of chop them in half or so. So a little bit smaller pieces of asparagus. Okay. Rinse. Same thing as we did before. I'm just going to, dry it a bit. And we're going to chop it up into small strips.
Okay.
All right.
Do you get rid of the?
Yeah, so we're going to take out the core and the seeds.
Oh.
So that part we're not going to use. Okay, and then we're just going to get some of that extra pulp out of there. And then we're just going to cut them into thin strips. So in this case, what I'm doing is I'm using the tip of the knife. You go ahead and do that. And we'll just put them in the bowl here ready to go.
Like this?
Yeah, like that. But do it from here, because then you can change the angle so that you're always getting thin slices. That's thick.
Oh, that's
Okay, thin, really thin. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to help peel the garlic, I'm just going to take my knife. So to help peel the garlic, what we're going to do is we're going to take my knife, smash it with the knife, and then once I do that, then I can easily peel out the garlic, right?
Oh, yeah.
See how easy that is?
Okay.
And then we'll just cut off the hard end bit. Okay, so have to be careful when you do this, because if you smack it down and you're not too careful where it's centered, it'll go psing, it'll fly across the room.
Okay.
All right? Okay, you have to hit the gym. You got to put a little muscle behind that.
I was holding back.
Yes, you're holding back. Okay. Okay. There we go. I'm going to take some of the, all we're going to do next now is chop up the garlic into very small pieces. All right. So, again, just going to remember the rocking motion I showed you before. We're going to do the same sort of rocking motion.
The what? The
Rocking.
The
So the knife is actually, the tip of the knife always kind of remains on the board, and all you're doing is basically rocking the knife up and down.
All right.
Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to work this around until it's nice and fine pieces, small tiny pieces. Next thing we're going to do,
The next thing.
okay, so that's all into little tiny pieces right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my lime and I'm just going to squish it. So I'm going to just go on here and squish it, because once I do this, it's loosening up a little bit of the juice and make it easier to get the juice out.
Okay.
Okay, so now it's time for us to go to the pan.
Go to the pan.
Go to the pan. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to preheat the oil. So I'm just going to put some oil in the pan.
你要那个当圆点来这个照定。
And so we're just going to let the heat up a little bit. And then what we're going to do is, as soon as the oil is heated, what we're going to do is we're going to add the shrimps, garlic, lime juice, honey,
Okay.
and a little bit of salt and pepper, which we'll get right now. And then we're going to cook the shrimp on one side, and then we're going to flip them over and cook the shrimp on the other side. So just got to wait for the
Oh.
oil to work away.
You're cutting?
Yeah, so that what we're going to do is squeeze
squeeze
the
the-
lime juice in there.
Perfect.
Well, it's just, I find it a little easier to work with. So, because sometimes on an electric stove, it's sometimes challenging to determine whether you've got, you're controlling the heat or not. So now what we'll do is we'll add some salt. And some pepper. And then we'll,
Wow, sorry, it smells so good.
yeah, then we'll
That's good.
put in the garlic. We'll put in the 1/4 cup of honey.
Now it smells weird.
Just give it a second.
So basically, garlic are just like changing the flavor.
Yes, no, as well, it's adding flavor to it, right?
Yes, I know.
Okay, so that's about right. And then we're going to put the lime. So we squeeze the lime. I'll squeeze the other one in. And so get those fingers working. And give it a good squeeze until all the juice comes out of that lime.
Oh, wow. I do need to go to the gym.
Yes, you do. Ah, squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Go.
That's not funny.
No, it's actually quite funny. Okay, here. So just, and then,
I was holding it back.
yeah, you're holding back. Okay.
Just to give you a chance to shine.
Yes. So when it's pink on one side, what I'm doing now is just flipping them over, and that way they cook on the other side, and when it's completely pink all the way through, then the shrimp is done. Oops. Doo-doo.
Do you mean by like chopping over
The little tiny pieces, that's ready. All right, so now that these are cooked, we're just going to take them aside and we're going to
pour it?
pour it in
Yeah.
here. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit more oil back. Actually, what we should do is clean the pan, but for the sake of time, we won't. Okay, so now what we're going to do is add back the garlic you just chopped up. All right. Okay. And then, that's right, we're going to saute in the garlic and the oil.
Just put it?
Put it in there.
All
Yeah,
of them?
all of the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, just. I pulled too much asparagus, but that's okay. Everybody loves asparagus. Okay. Yeah. A little pepper. Some salt. Yeah, you're going to wind up with it, most of it on the floor. Can you add a little bit more salt? And basically what we're doing is sauteing this until the vegetables get to the tenderness that we want.
Saute?
Saute.
Is that a word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically we're frying it,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So
I've seen it in cookbook.
Yeah. So if you like crispy vegetables, then you just don't cook them as long. If you like them a little bit softer, then
Yeah.
you cook it a little bit softer. All right. And there we go.
Okay.
Okay, well there you have it. So our shrimp in honey and garlic with sauteed asparagus and red bell pepper with a little brown basmati rice, or basmati, sorry, rice on the side. And then your candied tomato, sugary tomato thing.
Sugar.
So what we're going to do now, I think you wanted to have cameraman Kevin
Yeah.
to come in and be a little bit of a judge.
Okay.
And so why don't you let Kevin in here, let him have a taste and see what happens.
So now I will try that two bottle dishes. So let me try it.
Get a shrimp.
That's very good.
Very good.
See, very good.
Okay.
Okay, now
Wait
the,
for the second one.
okay, here we go.
Actually, I don't want to try it.
You have to try.
You
Kevin.
have to
Remember,
try.
I brought you.
Okay.
You have to try and make a good look.
That good.
Take it. How do you feel? Very good, very
I
good.
want to
Okay.
die.
That's called unfair judgment.
So definitely, clearly that's his way.
Why? Tell me the reason.
I don't need to read it. Because it's a tasty.
That's not
This
good.
is tasty.
Okay.
It's very, very tasty. And
Okay.
your this is
It's also very tasty.
how can I say? I don't want to say anything.
Okay. I get.
Well, Damon, it appears that I am the better chef. Kevin likes this meal. Thank you very much for joining us again on our second episode of Damon is Hungry. He's really hungry, so now we're going to eat all of this.
Okay.
And we'll see you next time.
See you.
Bye-bye.